It's episode 100. How do you feel about
that? Useless at the moment. Kind of distracted by the overwhelming pain in my arms, though.
Yeah, go ahead and humble brag to people why your arms are feeling bad.
I'm an idiot, and I decided that the first workout when I got here should be, because I didn't have a gym for the first few weeks when I got here, so I was just doing body weight stuff in my room, minimal stuff, and then I got placed at 24-hour fitness, and then I went there one day yesterday, I think, or the day before that, I don't remember. It's been a blur of pain, and I decided to do my maxes for deadlift, and for some reason all of that pain is located in my arms, which is not really the most of the muscles you use.
Yeah, it sounds like you definitely did it wrong.
Not at all, but okay. There was a fucking douchebag that came up behind me and told me I was doing it wrong, though, so that was fun.
I hate that. That's why I don't do deadlifts. I don't do anything too serious because I don't want to deal with the people who just throw racks on the ground and they're like, and then they just literally spoon protein powder into their mouth, or they throw the weights on the ground, whatever.
You fake gamer girl, but fucking he had this faux hawk, and on the side,
like Hawkeye.
Even dumber than that, he had a Lone Star, like the Cowboys logo, shaved in on the fade. He looked like such a fucking idiot. And he was just talking about if you don't have the weights, separate a little bit, because I have them all squished together because that's how I like it. And then you're when they turn, it's gonna catch on itself. You don't understand. And I'm just, what the fuck? What? Let me fail or win on my own.
Texas Jack over here is a real physics expert.
Maybe he was like some sort of genie, and he was trying to get me to stop doing that so he could prevent me from having all this pain.
Yeah.
But I don't think the fucking weights were the reason that my arms are now on fire.
That's hilarious. That guy sounds like a caricature of someone from fucking New York City would make of a person from Texas. Bizarre. I love that.
I hate him.
Anyway, you said you had some more stuff you wanted to bring up, and
it doesn't have to be all at once. What do you do all day?
I literally haven't left the house in 2 days.
We could talk about the fucking thing that you hate that I also hate.
Oh, so there's been this trend on at least the Marvel Studios subreddit
and Instagram and stuff,
and all this shit. People will take the fan art of when Tony at the end of Endgame was on his knees and he was holding up his hand with all the Infinity Stones. He's like, "And I am Iron Man." And it was a good scene. Now people are doing fan art of other characters in that scene, coming up with their own little catchphrases at the very end, and it's all very bad.
What did they do one for Falcon where he says, "I'm on your left," and the Thanos is like, "No, you're not.
You're in front of me."
You're very much in front of me.
I'm sure someone's gonna get to it, but it came up because I just saw this recent one with SpiderMan, and it looks dumb, and it just says, "And I am your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man."
Oh God.
Someone else did one with Thor, and it was like, "And I am still worthy," and then the Captain America one was like, "And I am just a kid from Brooklyn."
Oh God. We were talking about what he might have said because that was so stupid. I don't remember what we landed on, but I thought a few better options. If he says anything at all, which in my head, if he has the gauntlet, he's just going to snap it as soon as he can.
Yeah.
Try to fix everything. But something about whatever it takes or whatever, just under his breath. He's not talking to Thanos. He's not going to give one-liners. That's why it's weird to have most of these characters talk like that, because they wouldn't.
It'd be really funny. Captain America's thing was just like, "Ow, fuck," and then he just snaps him. It's just it's uncomfortable for him. He's like, "Ah, this hurts." It's like you. He's too sore from deadlifting. Captain America's sore from wielding all of the Infinity Stones. It's bad. Stop making this art. I mean, you're all very talented, but please make things that aren't as weird and embarrassing.
You've seen the one of Captain America, right?
Yeah.
That one's actually really good.
Oh, the art in all of these is great. I'm not contesting the quality
The
of the art.
captions are where it falls
It's the
short.
captions that really just kill it, like, immediately. Like, someone, maybe the artist isn't the one writing these captions, I don't know, so I'd be really pissed if someone was coming over to my art and being like, wow, look how great this is. Wouldn't it be great if I just, like, strangles, like, the greatness out of it, and like, ah! I hate that.
Me and, Matt Post?
Do I? He listens to this podcast. Hello, Matthew.
It's very disturbing to think about. But I, on Instagram, every time I find one of these cringy-ass little, like, edits people make where they do screen caps of different points in Marvel movies to make it look like two characters are talking.
Yeah.
And it's just so disturbing because all of them are just cringe. It's just like, Tony, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I've got your heart, Tony. It's like, what? What are you talking about?
Wait, are these... Oh, that's so fucking stupid.
I don't know what they're called, fan comics or... That's just,
like fan edits or whatever. I don't like it was funny. There was all this stuff on Twitter before Spider-Man. Oh yeah, that happened. Spider-Man is not going to be in the MCU anymore, apparently. Although that's up in the air. There's this thing that people were thinking, or spreading something that Spider-Man was bi.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, and then there was another thing where people kept memeing that, like, Tony Stark would, like, have sex with Peter Parker or something like that.
Oh, God.
Like, and took that in, like, a bad direction. But I saw, like, a pretty funny tweet that was like, fans, we want buy Spider-Man. And Sony was like, buy Spider-Man? Okay. But yeah.
This is one that I found. This is from... So... It's starting with Captain America and then going to Tony Stark. So it goes, this world doesn't deserve you, Tony. I know. That's why I choose you. You're my world, honey. God damn it, Tony. Can you stop being so cute all the time? I can, but can you stop grabbing my butt? And then this is Bruce Banner on the side. Oh my God, this is why I tell Fury I need vacation. And then Captain America's thinking, I can't, Tony. I'm sorry. Your butt looks so delicious. And then Tony Stark is thinking, honey, your hand's still in my hand. At least wait until we get home. What the fuck?
Dude,
who created this thing?
There's some weird people. I went to high school with this one girl who's like a really, like, one of those, like, kind of like Tumblr Marvel fans. Like, no offense if you are one of those people, but like, a little weird. And she was like super into like Tony Stark and like Steve Rogers, like, fan fiction and like art and like that whole thing. Like, she just like shipped the hell out of them. Ooh. So like when they announced Captain America Civil War, the movie, she lost her shit. Like, she got so mad and she was like, this is impossible, there's no way they're gonna actually fight, it doesn't make any sense, Marvel's like destroying these like characters. And I was like, this is insane. You were like,
you have a problem.
15. Yeah. Like, you're on the precipice of becoming sort of an adult. I expect a little more from you.
Why didn't they tap me as a reference to understand the relationship better in the film?
It's so weird, man. Like, this actually is like an interesting thing. Like, people who sexualize characters in ways that aren't make no sense, and like also are a little weird because sometimes that gets like passed on to the actual actor that plays that character. Like, Tom Holland got a girlfriend or something, and people were like shitting on her online because they like didn't believe Tom Holland was like straight or like liked girls. It was very strange. Like, you should read Instagram.
Shawn Mendes, because Shawn Mendes gets a lot of that.
It might be him too, honestly. I think it's like any attractive, somewhat like effeminate, not even effeminate, but like metrosexual, people. Like
it's
straight
like
white dude.
Insane like cockroaches.
K-pop fans are very bad about this. I saw some like insane tweet.
A lot of them are pretty fucking crazy.
I was like, if like so and so, whatever his name is, cheated on you, you have to realize it's because it was a fault like that you had.
That's a copy paste.
Oh, maybe it is. I may be reading it wrong,
but still, fuck that.
I mean, the copy paste had to come from somewhere, so. Like, yeah, that shit's, like, insanity. And I remember, there's this one scene in Euphoria, that HBO show with Zendaya, that kind of, like, caused a little ruckus, because, you know, that show's about teenagers in high school and shit, and teenagers do weird shit.
Never seen it. No, I have no idea what it's about.
No, I haven't seen it either. I just, like, heard about this. And, this one girl is, like, reading her as a part of her character, she writes like One Direction fan fiction or whatever. And she's reading her fan fiction on the show, and it's between like Harry Styles and like Liam Payne, I think. And the show decided to like make a very like detailed like animation of like her fan fiction, like actually put like production effort into this, like it was someone's job to like HBO spent money on animating this like in-universe fan fiction, and it was very weird.
It's weird.
And people were like kind of uncomfortable being like, did you like ask for like permission to like do this, because this is like a little weird. And then like Liam responded on Twitter being like, no one reached out to me or asked like my permission to do something like this. I'm like as shocked as like the rest of you guys.
That's really creepy.
Like, can you? That's so weird, man.
Yeah,
like
these are human adults. It's so weird. I forgot about that.
It's fucking weird that you can get to like, I mean, like, yeah, these people are famous and rich and their lives are probably great, but
so fuck them, right?
Yeah, but just still like, that's such a weird byproduct that like, okay, now everyone's gonna like sexualize the shit out of you, and they're gonna make weird shit about you.
You can't complain about it because the public owns you.
Yeah,
you made this decision to come out into the public eye, so we own you now.
All actors are like communists, communist property, and like we all own them collectively. It's so weird, man. I have a weird
stake in Robert Downey Jr.
Exactly. We all have equal stakes in the Avengers, so we could really just bring Robert Downey Jr. back to play Iron Man if we all really wanted to.
What were some particularly stupid ones that they did? Was where people were saying their catchphrases when they had the gauntlet. What does Wanda say?
I don't think someone did that for her. I wish I could like find the. Let me see if I can find like the past ones. Someone might be linking to them.
Bruce Banner snapped, and all he did was go like, "Ah!"
Oh, someone made a really funny one where it was Tobey Maguire. It was like an actual video.
Yeah, I missed the part where that's my problem.
Exactly, and then he just screams. I'm watching it right now.
Dude, the first Spider-Man is so fucking good.
Oh man, those Raimi memes are good.
There are some stupid edits, but there was one that like I really enjoyed the idea of, but will never ever happen. Especially now that fucking Sony and Disney.
Whatever.
There have been some updates, and apparently Disney was at fault in some capacity. But
yeah,
Spider-Man is off the table for Marvel. But there was an edit somebody did, visual edit, where they took this shot of Spider-Man shaking hands with Mysterio from the Far From Home trailer. They edited in Tobey Maguire as the person he's shaking hands with, and then in between the two behind them is Andrew Garfield, and it looks like they're all having a conversation. And it's sort of interesting. And then in the background you have Mysterio, and then everybody else who was in that little tunnel. It was like, oh, that's so cool. And I was thinking that Tobey Maguire looked really good as an older Spider-Man with a beard, and I was just like, oh, that's so fucking cool.
Tobey Maguire doesn't look as much like a baby these days. He just looks like a baby that's graying. It's very strange.
My god.
Why do people, I mean, not to knock on Andrew Garfield, people keep including him in all these like edits, being like, wouldn't it be cool to see all the Spider-Mans together? And I'm thinking to myself, like, no one ever really gave a shit about Andrew Garfield.
I liked him,
right?
I liked him.
I liked him, but I didn't like anything else around him.
I thought the CGI for him swinging was probably the best of the,
it was really good.
The two that had come out.
That was good. But then the story was about how his parents were like secret government agents.
Oh, and then they were so confident in their property that they were thinking, what if we made a movie about Aunt May, who she's a secret agent?
Yeah, they had a Sinister Six movie lined up, and you know what's fucking hilarious is that Aunt May thing sounds ridiculous. And then DC went and made a television series about Alfred Pennyworth being like a British
but that looks
spy.
Good.
Like I remember seeing the trailer for it like in the movie theaters, and I had no idea this thing had been announced or was being made. And usually I'm pretty in tune with these things, so I was like, "What is this?" And then I saw like the end title screen, and it was like Pennyworth and a little DC logo, and I was like, "What the fuck? Is this real?"
My favorite thing about all the Marvel TV, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Gotham for DC, all this shit is they started out with this idea that's like, well, this is Gotham before Batman. It's like, that's interesting, I guess. You've taken away the one thing I liked about the concept of Gotham City. And
what if we take this world and remove its central?
What
like,
if we
tenets?
make it boring and make it about like Penguin, but he's not really Penguin. He's like 7 feet tall.
No, what if we get the Joker, but it's not really the Joker because we're not really allowed to use him because that's
the man who laughs.
The laughing
Giggles,
man.
the clown. Fucking.
He's got teal hair and a violet vest.
He cut his face off like in Death in the Family. You guys remember that comic book, right? Ha ha ha. But fucking like most of their references to like actual like they'll be like Master Wayne, we cannot go to Siberia because that is the home of a very nasty group of people run by a very nasty man named Ray Shal, and then someone will walk in and like interrupt him, and so he won't be able to say Ray Shal Ghul, but we in the audience go like, oh, that's Ray Shal Ghul. He's gonna say it. And that's the entire excitement capacity for that show, I guess. I don't know how anyone watches it.
That's exactly how it is in like the Netflix MCU shows that aren't really part of the MCU.
No, they did a few of that, but I mean the better ones don't do that shit.
Like a lot of them were like they reference like that big green guy or the flag waver,
Magic Hammer, or the guy in a metal suit. It's like, do you not know these people's names by now?
Yeah, it's so weird. Like there was one episode of Jessica Jones where like the kid that lives in her apartment building was like playing with a Captain America action figure, and they actually say Captain America, and I was like, wow, I forgot you guys were allowed to do that. It's like you're almost part of the same universe or something. How strange.
Do you think that was like a thing they did to make sure that they didn't like it was like a degree of separation? I don't understand why they would do that. If they wanted to succeed, why not just give them the ability to say that shit?
The real reason is that Marvel Studios, the film side of things, is run by Kevin Feige, has like a bad working relationship with Marvel TV, which is headed up by Ike Perlmutter, who's this like old racist dude, Trump supporter, who's just been like the Marvel chairman for like decades. And and he's the reason that Captain Marvel and Black Panther didn't happen sooner. And he said when they recast Rhodey in Iron Man 2, it doesn't matter because they all look the same. So that gives you a taste of what this guy is like. And because him and Feige like hate each other's guts, basically, the TV shows have kind of like fallen off by the wayside and have like minimal like contact with one another, even though they're technically in the same universe. But it's gonna change.
Suck.
It's going to change when all the Disney Plus stuff happens, because all of those streaming shows are being made under Marvel Studios banner. So
speaking of Disney Plus,
yeah,
The Mandalorian has made me cream my jeans for about 6 years now.
I love that. This is like the one thing in Star Wars I've always wanted. Like, it's weird because I recognize the argument that Star Wars is primarily like, it has to be like family friendly, right? It's like a PG-13 franchise. This appeals to like kids and adults alike. But it's felt like to me, especially with the TV shows, that Star Wars has appealed to kids more and more
Rebels,
and more.
yeah, very, very
That's
kiddie.
been super annoying. Yeah, especially the turn from Rebels, from Clone Wars. Even though I liked Rebels, it was
Clone
nowhere
Wars is
near
coming
the
back though,
quality of
so that's
Clone
fun.
Wars. Yeah, but The Mandalorian, that's some shit. That feels like it's made for the people who grew up watching Star Wars and are like a little older now, you know? Because there's a lot of fans
like a lot of
like
extended
that.
universe pieces and bits in there.
For sure. And I love that. Like, it's something different. It's not like Jedis again. It's not like the Empire versus the Rebels. This is like criminal underworld. We got bounty hunters, and the Empire stuff we do have isn't like the actual Empire. It's like Imperial warlords and like the Outer Rims and like all these factions like vying for control.
Oh, God,
one of them's led by fucking Gus Fring from fucking Breaking Bad. And then the other one is led by Werner Herzog.
Werner Herzog.
Who's
the guy
fucking
from
sick.
Jack Reacher who bit all his fingers off.
Exactly. And he's just like, bounty hunting is a complicated profession, don't you think? He just has like the fucking best voice ever. And then you got Carl Weathers, who's like the bounty hunting guild guy. And you got
What's the Mandalorian's name? Do we know yet?
I don't think we know yet. No.
What if people just called him that? That's a lot.
the Mandalorian.
Hey,
you have
the
a nickname?
Mandalorian, turn around and face me.
I feel like his name's just gonna be like Mando or like that's probably lame.
What the fuck? No. What if he
Mando.
What if his name is Obi-Wan Kenobi?
He takes off his helmet and they just CGI'd Ewan McGregor's face over.
They don't
Pedro
even need
Pascal.
CGI. He's back for the whole thing.
Yeah, true. He's got his own show, which is another thing entirely. But do you think they're gonna do a Judge Dredd thing for this show and have him never take off the helmet, or do you want him to take off the helmet at some point?
See, in the first trailer, you see him sort of get into a scuffle with this woman on the ground. Remember that?
Is that the leaked one from Comic-Con?
Could be.
Or from whatever the
longer
last
one with all sorts of bits and pieces.
I'm not sure.
But yeah, he gets in a
picture?
scuffle with a woman. They roll around on the ground. It looks a little clunky, like when he is on the ground, because anyone. I mean, if you have someone rolling on the ground with a motorcycle helmet, it looks a little weird because it's a very heavy thing to wear and all that. So maybe take it off sometimes, but it preserves the fantasy almost if he's not real, if he's not a meatbag.
Yeah,
you saw IG-88 in the trailer, or one of the.
It's not
assassin
IG-88.
droids.
It's just IG-11, so a different kind of droid.
Assassin
but the
droid.
same brand or whatever.
Assassin droid, say it. Did you see how cool it was though? It was so calculating. It was just rotating on all its axes.
He's just like doing like a fucking algorithm in his head of like, this is how I should spin to kill as many people as quickly as possible. And it was like amazing.
It's like a beautiful mind.
Yeah, I love that. And I would say I do want him to take off the helmet, because otherwise why get Pedro Pascal? Pedro Pascal is an amazing actor, and like you should use him.
See, but
and
Pedro
I'm sure
Pascal
there will be
is the kind of person who would be like, I don't have to take off the helmet. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like anyway. I know him so well, but
you know him so well, Pat. Why don't you tell everyone how you know Pedro Pascal so well?
I don't know him that well. I was walking down, I don't remember what it's called, one of the number streets, 6th Street or 8th Street. It's got a bunch of bars with some people in Austin. And I was walking by this place that had a porch, and I saw him immediately. I don't know. I just have a thing for faces. Like, I assume everybody does. The people that they like a lot, that they consume media from, they recognize people like that. And I saw him, and he was sitting there, I don't know, having lunch with somebody, or no, it was late, so dinner or whatever. He was doing something, and then I was just like, oh, I pointed rudely because I don't know, I just did it, and I was like, oh, and that was it. And then I walked by, and he put his hand up, and sort of like a fence next to us, so it looked sort of like he couldn't get a full like extension, so it sort of looked like he was trying to get a high five, and then I just hit it like that for a second, and then I peeled away and kept walking. So it was really awkward.
You didn't stop to talk or anything?
I never want to do that. Fuck that.
That's hilarious.
I met that one guy, the Iron Fist, and now I've met the Mandalorian.
Yeah. You're crossing them off one by one.
One day I'll meet Falcon, and he'll be like, I'm on your left.
Now you're invited to Pedro Pascal's wedding.
And then he'll say a bunch of terrible stuff about women, and then I'll be like, oh no, Anthony, why?
Oh, I forget. Every time I see stuff with Anthony Mackie, I'm like, didn't he do something bad again? I forget.
He had an interview or two where he's just really traditional in his values about women.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
What did he like say? I don't quite remember.
Like make me a sandwich and stuff like that.
Oh no.
I have a link I can probably send you.
That's not good. Well, I'm glad you're best friends with Pedro Pascal. I would have definitely just been like, hey man,
But he was having fucking lunch, all right? Or Jesus Christ, I've said that 3 times now. Fucking dinner.
You don't need to have a full conversation with him. You can just be like, hey man, like your stuff.
But consider this,
for The Mandalorian.
Consider this: if some random person who liked your work or whatever, do you really want that person coming up and saying, hey, can you sign this? Can we take a selfie and stuff like that?
That's not what you're asking for, though. All I'm saying is you could have just said, hey, man, love your stuff. Excited for The Mandalorian. Have a good night.
Yeah, but I communicated that with my soul.
You soul bonded with him.
I might have also forgotten that he was in The Mandalorian when I was doing that.
hey, you're that guy who was in that one season of Game of Thrones.
Immediately I thought Narcos because...
Yeah, great show. I love it.
And then the person I was fucking walking with, I was just like, that was fucking Pedro Pascal. And he was like, who? And I was like, you mother... And I like, grab him.
Fake friends, man. They don't know who Pedro is. Send him packing. But anyways, I'm lit for it. Hope he takes his mask off so he can give me some A-grade acting and fucking cry his eyes out when he kills someone that he doesn't want to kill.
Nah, I hope he doesn't give a shit about anybody.
You need more depth than that, man. You can't just have like a cardboard box that's like, I don't feel about anything. I don't care.
No. He's not a cardboard box if he doesn't care about anybody.
It's kind of like what a cardboard box would do.
You saying of a cardboard box?
Yeah. You need more depth. You gotta have layers. He's got to be an onion. You know, you want to peel back that rough exterior, and you discover that he's a father, and as a father, you know, he really cares about the kids, and he really cares about getting good grades, and you know, not making the same mistakes he did.
What do you think his story is going to be? Because he's got regular, very standard looking armor.
His story is like backstory. I think it would be weird if he wasn't actually Mandalorian. Because
we've had two of those.
Yeah, Boba Fett and Jango Fett are not actually Mandalorian. They just wear Mandalorian armor.
As we all know.
Yeah. But it'd be really cool if, you know, we get into some like Mandalorian like clan shit, and it's like, yeah, my clan was like fucking executed and I'm like the last one.
Or the clan got super brutal and desperate because Mandalore had fallen, so they were trying to like, I don't know, pillage and steal from a bunch of tiny baby aliens, and I was just not having it, so they kicked the shit out of me and threw me by the wayside.
Isn't Pre Vizsla in this show? Oh no, she's in. She's back in the new season of the Clone Wars, I think.
Pre Vizsla, isn't she dead?
She's
is that Obi-Wan's girlfriend? No, Pre Vizsla's a guy.
Oh yeah, he's the bad guy.
Leader of Death Watch.
He's the bad
guy. Jon
yeah.
Favreau voices.
Who is also the executive producer on The Mandalorian, so
yep.
It all works. I was thinking of Bo-Katan, but she is in the Clone Wars. I don't know that she's gonna be in. Oh, and she was in Rebels. Okay, that's why I was thinking like, what is she in? Yeah. There was a cool still they released in the new season of Clone Wars where it's Ahsoka Tano like about to like whoop some Darth Maul ass. Looks good.
Did you see that the 501st got new paint on their helmets that matches her tattoos?
Really? Shit, I like that.
It just came in my pants.
So little things, dude. I love that. Like honestly,
go ahead.
People will shit on a lot of what Disney has done with Star Wars, and warranted in some respects, but then in other respects, there's a lot of really good shit coming.
You're right. They rehired all of the people that were previously involved, and they're doing their job again. I don't know if you can credit that to Disney at all, but
I mean, at the same time, before Disney bought Star Wars was barely making anything. Like
shut your mouth.
They were kind of just dormant. So I'm glad that we're getting stuff again. At least, you know, the comics are really good as well. Like people are sleeping on the comics. The comics are perhaps some of the strongest.
The Darth Vader comics recently have been fucking wild.
So good, dude.
Did you see the one with the ancient Sith architect whose helmet that Darth Vader's one of his crew puts on, and the spirit that takes over the crew members' like brain, and he just gives Darth Vader like a dressing down about all of the different things that he considers like foolish about the current Sith, you know, marching orders.
That's hilarious.
It's so good. It's
Boomer
really,
Sith.
really good.
The Boomer Sith is back.
He's not
Sith these days.
It's like he was an outcast in his time, so now when it's all so different, even from then, he's even more of an outcast. Like everything about Darth Vader's description of like the new world order just pisses him off and like endlessly because he was so creative. All he did was build things. He was one of the few Sith who like focused his time into like constructing and like thinking about things and creating in like in a creative way. And I think that's why they killed him like altogether, because he was like growing too powerful. No, he built a giant ship that had a blaster cannon in the bottom and like glassed an entire city and turned it into just black sculpture, like frozen in time.
Isn't that what happened in Knights of the Old Republic?
It could be. I don't know.
Like Darth.
He's Darth something. Darth fucking
Malik
Xenon.
And Darth Revan, like fucking iced this fucking planet by shooting the shit out of it.
I don't think that's him.
It's probably not the same guy, but the concept is.
But he used all sorts of Sith magic and technology and did that, and then he got bored of that, so he went to Mustafar and built his castle, and so the architects that were on Darth Vader's ship, because Emperor Palpatine in this one said, is, you know, you've gotten so much stuff, what do you want from me today? Like, I feel like I should reward you. And then Darth Vader says, I want a planet. And points at Mustafar. And Emperor Palpatine, it just gives it to him. And he gives him also Padme's ship. Padme's old ship. Because he knows he just fucks with him all the time. He like turns his air off and like kicks him down the stairs. He fucking hates Darth Vader. And he gives him Padme's ship. And Darth Vader takes the two people who are helping him who's going to help him construct his castle, and he takes them on board. He goes to the upper atmosphere, and then he's like, I'll drive the rest of the way down, and like takes the controls, and both of them like buckle in, and he just like arrowheads it straight down through the atmosphere and just cooks the outside of this like pristine like
it's like shiny ass silver
platinum
thing.
It's like beautiful, and then he just chars it like through the atmosphere and lands it, and perfectly, because, you know, Anakin Skywalker's a great pilot, Darth Vader, whatever. And he gets out, and then you see in the background one of the male dude is like throwing up, and then the woman is like looking at it, is like, you ruined the ship, and he just is silent. And then there's a whole kerfuffle about the male architect who finds the helmet, puts it on, and then just gives Vader the worst dressing down about all the stuff that he's responsible for, and like, not like he feels sorry for the people that he's killed, but it's just like, you wasted so much time. It's like, you have finite time alive, and you've used that time so worthlessly. And it's just like, this is so cool.
I love that. I haven't read that
Darth
one.
Vader for like 15 minutes.
No, I love that. That's the one. The one I remember. I stopped around a while ago. It was the Geonosian like queen that was making weird droid Geonosian baby things. Do you remember that? They go back to Geonosis. It's like the bug queen lady.
I know who that is, but
with Doctor, they go with Dr. Aphra and stuff. Dr. Aphra is another good character. Whatever. It's like one of the first Darth Vader comics, but Dr. Aphra is also a great character who has her own series now, I believe. But they're like getting close to the start of Empire Strikes Back, I think, so they need to like figure out what they're doing with that, if I recall reading. But whatever.
Have you seen the Red Letter Media video where they go through the Wikipedia about Vader's suit?
I have not watched that. I don't watch any Red Letter Media.
No. This is so fucking funny. You have to watch it. It's really goddamn funny.
Did it just come out?
It's not about, like, you know, things that bother you, about all the movies that you love that you can't hear criticism for because you're tired of it, like The Last Jedi, or anything like that. It's just about the concept of Vader's suit and all of the things that went into it based on the Wikipedia. And it's just them reading it out, joking about it, and laughing. It is so fucking funny.
I love it. I'll have to give it a shot. I remember, what was I gonna fucking say? I don't remember at all. Never mind.
It was like a jokey title of like top 10 facts about Darth Vader's suit.
Okay. Did you watch Donkey's video on Metal Wolf Chaos?
No.
The crazy one where you're like playing in a mecha suit as the president of the United States.
No.
Dude, you gotta watch it. It just came out. It's so fucking good. He like doesn't even do anything. He just provides the laugh track because the game is so fucking ridiculous. I love that.
Do you ever at work have people come up to you and ask you how much you make?
No, you're not supposed to. I mean, it's impolite apparently, but I think that's bullshit.
No, that's a tactic to keep people from earning more money. But
exactly.
Do people ask you ever?
No one's. Well, I've also only been at work for like 2 weeks now, so no. Why do people ask you?
No, which is the freaky thing to me, because recently somebody did ask, and I told them. And it was just sort of like a moment of like, wow, this has never happened before. And then I gave up the information freely. I don't care. And they were just like shocked on their face. And I was like, what? Is that like way less than you make? And he was just like, that's way more than I make. And we do the same job. And I was just like,
Oh
You
shit.
should negotiate for more, man. That's sad.
There you go, man. You just empowered him to negotiate for more. Love that. It's
And that wasn't like a humble brag of look how much money I make in this job. It was just like shocking to me that some people will, because I used to be this way about lifeguarding. Like I was totally minimum wage for the first 3 years I did lifeguarding. Even though I qualified for making $9 or $10 an hour, I was still doing hour. That was weird, but I was still like $7.25. Like yeah, please, could I please have minimum wage? Because I was like, I don't know, the Catholic guilt or something. I didn't want to like ask for more than I needed. You don't want to ask for more money. I didn't want to because it would make me uncomfortable. So yeah, I don't have that anymore. So that's good.
I felt the same.
Give me 15.
When I got this offer for this job, they told me the salary ahead of time, and they're like, "Are you okay with that?" And I'm like, "Sure." And like, it was lower than I wanted, but I just said sure to like keep the conversation going because like I needed to get to the interview part. And then when they offered me the job, I like counter offered the salary. So it was like, upon further consideration, I think you guys could offer me
This was through an email?
Yeah, I did it through email.
Ah, fuck that.
I think you guys could offer me like $4,000 a year or more. And they're like, yeah, no. And I was like, okay, I'll take the job anyways.
Nice job, Alex.
It's not like I'm gonna fucking. It's not like I'm gonna say no because like I need the job.
I always want that conversation in person. I need that conversation in person.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I can't use all my like charisma bonuses.
I have no charisma bonuses is the thing, especially when it comes to like high stakes negotiating. Do. Nah, man,
I feel like you don't. Maybe if you don't have charisma, you could use this sort of thing that I know you have, where it's like the I'm an adult Stonewall sort of thing. Where you seem like you're confident in what you're saying and you deserve the things that you're asking for. You could probably pull that off.
Yeah, I could probably fake it till I make it, but I'm stuck with this for now, so I'll just wait another year.
What if you went in person, you were like, $4,000 a year sounds a lot more fair to me. And then it's just like, nope. And you're just like a bead of sweat forms. And you're just like, Patrick said this would work.
Yeah, but the thing is, some places, especially in like media, they're like, have kind of strict pay scales just because they're, I don't know, operating on a tight budget. I don't really know.
Oh, God.
But yeah. Wait, how much do you make?
For the current job?
Yeah.
I have two. So,
okay.
One I can't tell you about, and my current dumb job, which lets me go to the 24-hour fitness, I make $16 an hour.
Oh, wait. This guy asked you at your dumb job.
At my dumb job.
Oh, okay. Wait,
no one at my nice job would ever fucking ask me how much I make.
Okay. Wait.
Nobody at my nice job does meth.
Wait, your nice job doesn't pay you enough, so you had to get a second dumb job?
No, I like the second dumb job because I get to be outside.
Oh, that's whack. What's your...
It's fucking summer. I don't want to be in an office all the time.
That's true. Wait, so what, you just work at this gym?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. That's nice, I guess.
Apparently, you had to. Most of the people had to, because I brought all my paperwork and licenses and stuff in case I needed to become a lifeguard again. And they were like, "Do you have a Red Cross certification?" And I'm like, "For what?" And I just pulled out like all my Yu-Gi-Oh card like flair.
What you got?
Yeah. I've got so many fucking certifications.
You got the Infinity Gauntlet of like Red Cross certifications.
I spared your life on a whim.
I love that. That's weird. I'm surprised you like. So you must work more than 40 hours a week then.
It's like 46. I don't work many hours for my fancy job.
Oh, okay.
Most of the stuff that I do for my fancy job, I do from home.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
I sometimes go into the city and then talk to people.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like it would be exhausting, but you seem to have a good handle on it.
The alternative is living in Virginia, so I'm good.
This is true. Okay, that's fun.
I just occasionally get like, my mom is like very withholding of information that she thinks would upset someone, and she knows that I worry about that entire house a lot. And so when we were texting or I call her or something like that, you can see that she like clears her throat because she was just probably yelling at somebody or like crying or something. So I just go like, "Everything good?" And she's just like, "Yep, everything's awesome."
God, wasn't your dad? He started texting you. Does he still text you to like try to bond now that you're gone?
Game. What?
he tries to bond with you now that you're gone by
He
telling
does,
you about
yes.
Avengers and game.
That lasted, I think, a week and a half, and I have not heard from him since. So,
Oh well, there you go.
no
You still do
small
D&D
walls.
with your brothers or whatever?
Doing it tonight.
Oh, sick! I just played D&D last night. That was fun. And how do
Nobody
you guys do
fucking
it?
asked. How do we
Yeah.
ask? What? How do we
How do you
ask?
do it?
How do we
you do it over Discord?
Over Discord, and we use Roll20.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly what we do as well. Although we barely use Roll. I don't think we've ever used Roll20 to actually like move any pieces or do anything, honestly. Which would have been helpful last time because we did a combat scenario last night that was kind of hard to keep track of, and I wish that someone had plotted that out on the
What do you mean?
fucking board.
What was hard about it?
It was so the party was split. There was like we were in this like magical sky engine that was keeping this island city afloat.
As
and
you
there were 5 levels to it. Me and another party member were on the top level fighting off this possessed like worker who was trying to blow the thing up. And then our other 2 party members were on the bottom floor fighting off other possessed people. And then in the middle floor there were some good NPCs fighting bad NPCs. And it was a lot just kind of like keeping track of like who's doing what.
Yeah, split party is always rough.
Yeah,
we try
exactly.
to. Well, since there's only 3 of us, it's never really an issue.
Yeah.
I hate my fucking dragon so much. And Felix probably hates it too if I think about it enough and try to roleplay. But I think I told everybody this. Not that anybody should remember. It's not that interesting. But when I first started our campaign, Morgan decided to give me he's a DM. Morgan's a DM. He decided to give me a little dragon companion. And in character as Felix, he would never want that. But I could tell that he had put a lot of effort into like characterizing this thing, and he probably did a bunch of stats and stuff, and that took an hour. So I was just like, yeah, sure, I'll take the dragon. So now I've got a dragon, and I don't want it. I don't know what to do with it.
God, you just put it up for adoption.
See, but the adoption would be giving it to Fears, which is Ryan's character, and Ryan will definitely kill it. So
there you go. I just joined this second D&D group because I want to like play more frequently than I do
my
now.
God.
And meet more people. And we're gonna meet on Wednesday, so that'll be fun. But it's like a pretty big group. Like there's 7 of us,
That's
1
awesome.
DM, 6 players, and that's good. I really don't know how much is too much for D&D.
6
but
is a really solid number.
Yeah, but literally as I speak, someone else just joined the Discord server. So I guess we have 7 players and 1 DM.
Dude, I mean, like, in my opinion, a lot would be like 10.
Yeah, I mean, how many people? It's like 8 players and 1 DM in Critical Role, right?
What? Sorry, my mom just sent me a very, like, guilty text. She was like, hey, I hope you're not mad. It's just a silly thing. I won't do it again if you don't want me to, so sorry. I don't know what I did. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Like, how many players is too many players in D&D? Let's see.
Hang on,
Like,
I'm gonna answer my mom's text.
Answer your mom. She deserves it.
I'm gonna cry if I don't.
I remember Critical Role is at least 7 or 8 players, and then Matthew Mercer being the DM. Oh my god, this one dude's fucking group blew up to like 12 people. That's wild. Shouldn't run more than 4 or 5 player characters. That's insane, man. 6 at max and a 6th person their way in.
How do you spell generosity?
GENEROSITY.
GENERO. Yes.
Generosity. There you go, bud. You got it. That's crazy. I really hope this works out. I would feel bad if
Ow. I don't know what I'm
we'd have
apologizing
to
for, but I
kick
am.
this guy out. Yeah, what the fuck happened? The funny thing is, I joined.
Oh, my
this
mom
group.
sent me noodles. Then she's like, I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry about the noodles.
Because I guess I forgot to say thanks. I don't remember.
That's hilarious. The funny thing is, I joined this group a little late, and there was the kid who I replaced was this high schooler and I was able to go back and read the rest of the group's chat because you can do that on Discord. And this kid was like weird, and he was like, "I'm 17, and yeah, I should be able to go into the city, but I need to ask my parents for permission." And then he was like, "Okay." He's like, "Yeah, I'll probably just metro in since I can't drive. My parents should be okay with it because they know I'm always armed and I can handle anything." And then the rest of them were just like, "What the fuck?"
Do you talk about that with them?
Yeah, but the kid, he left the group right after we started talking shit about him. So they were just like, "Yeah, that's fucking weird. Like, we don't want someone to stab us for like bad rolls or anything like that." So it's probably for the best that he's gone. Now I'm the youngest person in the group. The rest of them are like, oldest is 36, and then I think the next youngest besides me is 27. So we'll see how that goes.
Wow.
You know, I know. It should be interesting. The only annoying thing is I'll have to like, because my work schedule is fucking stupid. I get off work at 1, and we're playing in DC, like the city, and the game's at 6. So I'll have to like wait around for like 5 hours.
Is it at somebody's house?
Yeah, it's at someone's apartment. Yeah, which is, I've never done that before. My other group usually just meets at like a game shop.
Make sure you're armed.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking I'll bring the pocket knife you gave to me, actually.
Jesus.
Yeah, I like pull it out of my closet and look at it sometimes. I'm like, this is a really nice knife.
It's amazing to me that you have never really, that's not such a big part of your life, especially for where you live.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, our DM was just like, if someone drops out, you can come on board. We're at our max right now, though. Feel bad. I don't know who sent this kid the invite, but whatever. Looks like we don't need it anymore. Feel bad.
Someone drops out of D&D. A likely story.
I don't know. It's weird. I always feel bad though, because like, you know, what if this is like a person who like is better than someone else who's currently in the group? You know, like what if this guy's like, I haven't met any of these people, so we could be turning away the coolest kid in the group, and we could be keeping on like some guy who's like a pedophile secretly or something.
You'll find out.
You never know. We'll find out. My other group, all great people, love them to death. Like when I met up with them, only one of them looked like they really played D&D, and the rest of them looked like well-adjusted individuals. One of them is really into anime. Another one is like works in, I think I've said this before, he's this dude in the Navy who's like pretty shredded, and he like works in Naval Intelligence, but he's also like a huge nerd, so it's an interesting combination of interests and hobbies and career choices, but good people. Honestly, I've yet to meet a bad person in the D&D community, at least locally.
Speaking of well-adjusted, do you want to hear about my drive-through kerfuffle?
Tell me. Oh yeah, I forgot.
You know how I lie like a child?
Yes. I assume you're always lying to me. I don't think you actually met Pedro Pascal.
I did. I actually did meet him.
All right, tell me your drive-through.
So I go to Whataburger a lot because it's my favorite place on the planet now.
I really want to give it a shot.
It's really fucking good. And I went like 3 times, and then the third time I went there during the day, and then I put in my order at the little microphone thing. I drove up to the first window, and then she leaned out the window to get my card, and she was just like, "Were you here last night?" And I was just like, no. And I was there last night the night this happened, and she was like, "Oh," and she was taking my card and ringing me up, and she was just like, "Do you have any family?" And I was just like, "Nope." And she was like, "No, so like, did something happen to them?" And I was just like, "Yeah." And and she was like, "Are you adopted?" And I was just, "Yeah, I am." And I'm just agreeing and disagreeing willy-nilly. And she was just like, "I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I'm glad that you have family in some capacity." And I was just like, "It's good to have it." And I take my card back. And it was just like really awkward because there was a card directly in front of me. I had just enough room to get to the window and hand her my stuff. Mm-hmm. So she was asking me all these questions, and I was just like, "Well, I lost my mom and dad. We were out on a boat one day, and a storm came and flipped it over. I was the only one who made it out." And and she was just like, "Are you messing with me?" And I was just like, and I got really stone faced, and I was like, no, why would I do that? Just like, what is wrong with you? And she was just like, oh, I'm sorry. I get a lot of weird stories all the time talking to people through the drive-thru, and I was just like, fair enough. And then I rolled out the window, and I looked all sad. I don't know what's wrong with you, man.
I feel like shit for no reason.
Yep.
Honestly, that drive-thru person was like way out of their lane, though. Like, what kind of fucking question is like? They're diving way, way, way too deep.
She was asking questions so fast. It was just like, you don't have any family? Are you adopted? Did something happen to them? It was like a kid.
Like, what the fuck? Like, that is not your, like, prerogative to, like, ask about that. I mean, like, everyone deserves respect and stuff, but, like, I do not want to be asked about, like, my family trauma when I'm getting a Whataburger.
I don't know what it is about me, but the moment someone asks me something and I lie once, it becomes everything after this will be the most extravagant lie, and I hope it works. I don't know why I do that. It's really fun. I know that's true.
That's wild. I mean, it's hilarious in retrospect in situations like this when you're like retelling the story. But like, if I was like in the car alongside you, I would just like be fucking like shrinking into my chair and just like.
I do that a lot too.
To make eye contact.
My favorite shit is if I'm in public with somebody and we're just walking around, I'll like one time. Me and this dude were like wandering around one of these parks in DC. I don't remember which one. It was like really close to the Washington Monument. And we went into one of the like the brick like roofed like bathroom places to take a piss, and then we walked back out, and there was this couple on a bench, and they were getting up to leave, and I just walked down the path, and we were sort of heading in their direction, and I was just like, hey man, and he was just like, yeah, what's up? And I was just like, don't go in there, man, there's a lizard. And I just got turned and kept walking. What the fuck does that even mean?
Why would you do that?
So that was fun.
You operate in your life like an RPG character.
It's fun. You never see these people again. Take advantage of that.
Oh my god.
It is weird when I do that and then like they ask me more questions. Like it's just like, hey, don't walk away. What are you talking about? And I don't know. I met Pedro Pascal. I don't have to talk to you.
I hate that dude. When I'm taking calls for C-SPAN, like I hate it when I'm gonna be like, I cut someone off because they're taking too long to like explain their point, and I'm like, you're fine. I'll just like put you in the like line or whatever. And they're like, hey, on a second, listen to what I have to say. And I was like, nope, goodbye.
I imagine people who call C-SPAN are the people who no one listens to.
It's weird, man. Like for the most part, like the callers are kind of normal, decent. Definitely older though, and then as far as crazies go, it's mostly just like old people who you can tell watch way too much Fox News and just like repeat the most insane shit. Like it's awful, but I'm just like, and like they can barely form coherent sentences. I'm genuinely impressed they managed to dial into the show, and I'm like, okay, I'll put you on, and they're mostly fine though. Although we have like 1 or 2 people who like email us and will like complain that we are like fake news, and they call us C-SPAN and N, and I was like, it's fucking C-SPAN. Like we literally don't do anything. You are insane.
What does C-SPAN stand for?
Cable Satellite Public Access Network.
Do you want to know some stuff I learned about the radio recently?
Tell me.
It's kind of neat because when I'm listening to music or like drawing at the same time, I'll be drawing something, and then I'll like hear something somebody mentions in a podcast or a word that I really like obliterate or something like that when I'm fucking listening to somebody play Yu-Gi-Oh. And I'll write down obliterate, or like recently I was listening to somebody, I think it was Convoy, that really country song about trucks and stuff, and somebody said 5x5, and I was just like, huh, I've heard that before. What does that mean? Because I heard it, I think Hicks says it in Aliens once or twice over the radio, and I was just like, 5x5, and then I looked it up. It means that the signal between two people is as perfect as it gets. So this is as good a connection as we'll ever have. This is 5x5. I believe that's right. And if you want to say loud and clear, you use the NATO phonetic alphabet. So you say Lima Charlie. And that's kind of interesting too. So I wrote all that down. Like my notebook is just filled with like little factoids and like words that I think are interesting up against like drawings of Lion-O from Thundercats and stuff.
You watch Thundercat?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't there the new Netflix one?
Are you talking about She-Ra?
Are those things related?
No, that's He-Man.
I thought She-Ra was a He-Man spinoff.
Mm-hmm. What do you think is Thundercats on Netflix?
I swear there was like a Thundercats remake recently.
There was one in 2011 on Cartoon Network. That one was really pretty animation, but it was kind of terrible.
Apparently, no. Well, I remember fucking Aaron from Game Grumps, right? He did some video. I don't remember what. He was arguing that Thundercats on Cartoon Network a while ago was like an amazing show, and no one watched it, and that's why it got canceled. And now I
watched it. I liked it.
Yeah,
but Thundercats itself it's such a fucking rad. I love every kind of transformation power up thing. I don't know why. I guess like being born in 1998 automatically makes you susceptible to being like interested in Power Rangers, but fucking like any time before 2000 I'm caught in the mix. If I was born after that, then I would have been into like Digimon wholeheartedly, but no, Power Rangers and fucking shut up, I'm making my point. The like Shazam and He-Man and Lion-O, when he has the Sword of Omens and it's got the Eye of Thundera, and he'll like swing it,
whatever that fucking means.
Shut up! And he's swinging again.
Fucking
and
nerd.
Go thunder, 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 and then he puts it up, and then it goes Thundercats. Oh, he calls people a bunch of sluts with one loud ho, and then he can do several things with it. I think he can shoot a laser. He can do one where he goes, Sword of Omens, give me sight beyond sight, and then the sort of whatever this is, the cross guard of the sword will grow out into this sort of filigree, so it's very sharp, sort of around the eyes of the person who's holding it in front of them, and their little cat eyes will go to like slits, and you can see really far. It's like scrying. It's really cool.
Scrying. Interesting.
And then the guy who's the bad guy, his name is Mumra. He's like his mummy lizard man.
What is your favorite Power Rangers like series or era? Because this is what I'll listen. I don't give a shit about Power Rangers anymore.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, probably the original.
The first one.
There was the first one is the like really old one, and then there's
the Japanese one.
I think the Japanese one. Well, they in the original times when they were first making it, they made 2 different shows for the different audiences. So there would be like a bunch of white kids speaking English, not like with subtitled or anything like that. It was just speaking English. And then for the Japanese one, they had the same thing, but it was subtitled. I'm just trying to remember. I don't remember at all.
Me too.
Because they had the visors that were like a shield and like a stick and like the plus sign and everything. They're very like basic.
Let me look this up. Mighty Morphin was the first one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
Thank you.
So I remember when I was a kid. I was born in 1997. So I think my main favorite one was Power Rangers. There was a bunch of like
Ninja
bullshit ones. Power Rangers Time Force was probably the
dude.
First one
the part when the giant robot is sending them back in time, so he swings up and then punches the ship and it goes through the ring. Do you remember that?
I don't.
That's their method of time travel. Is fucking what?
But like I peaked around Power Rangers Wild Force, Power Rangers Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder, and then SPD.
Oh, the one where they're cops.
The best. Yeah, the SPD one is when they're like Space Patrol Delta, they're space cops, and their boss is like a talking alien dog. It's very funny.
Oh man, Zordon is still my favorite, and fucking Alpha 5, I think his name is.
Yeah, but the thing is, I would catch reruns of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers because that was like still the most popular series. Like they wouldn't replay episodes of like Power Rangers Zeo or Power Rangers Turbo. I don't fucking even remember what that is.
There was one that I didn't super like a lot, but I watched it the most because it was just the one that was on when it was like airing like modernly. I don't know how to say that. When I was a kid, Ninja Storm. That
Ninja
one
Storm's the
I
shit.
was not a huge fan of because the designs were all like goofy as fuck.
I love Ninja Storm, dude. Like Wild Force was the one where they're like all animals, and they're like Wild Force, and
the Red Ranger was like a guy who lived in the jungle for a long time, and he like ran away from all the animal Zords that were hiding in there.
Exactly, and
exactly, you've got it exactly right.
That's it. And Wild Force, I mix up Wild Force and Ninja Storm in my head. But those 4 series were my favorite. Wild Force, Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder. Dino Thunder especially was sick because they all the Zordons were like different dinosaurs and
the
like
Zords,
the Zords, whatever. Fucking kill me. And they would all combine into the Megazord or whatever. It was good. Me as a 10-year-old child really enjoyed it. Not so much anymore. I was also into like the Kirby anime and the Sonic anime. And some other stuff. Whatever was on that TV channel. WB Kids, I think it was called. Yeah. Do you remember that?
WB.
Yeah, they had the Sonic. Dude, I was so into the Sonic.
The Sonic show was good. The Kirby show was good too.
Kirby show was really funny, actually.
King DDD.
I should go back and find some clips. But what else do they have on there? I don't know. But it was.
I remember there was like an adjacent channel that was like Power Rangers, Legends of the Hidden Temple, Nickelodeon's Gak, just all those like competition shows.
Wow, I just had a fucking heart attack because so WB Kids, dude, Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain, Jackie Chan Adventures, Batman Beyond, Freakazoid, Shaolin Showdown, Static Shock, Mucha Lucha, Johnny
Lucha,
Test,
it's a way of life.
The Batman, Tiny Toons Adventures, What's New Scooby Doo, X-Men Evolution.
That one was a terrible
classic
series. I didn't like that one.
What?
No.
Ozzy and Drix, which is the one with the pill and the blue bacteria man.
Oh, you mean the runoff from
the movie? Yeah,
the movie,
which is weird. Where Bill Murray has like a heart attack or something.
That movie was a lot of shots of Bill Murray eating very cholesterol,
very unhealthy
food.
things. Yeah, and then like the end of it is like he's going on a hike.
And then the fucking dude who has like the claw. I don't remember what the virus is that he represents. It's like norovirus or something.
That shit always freaked me out. But there's so many good shows on here, man. Like Rescue Heroes, Skunk Fu. I don't know.
Rescue Heroes. I had those chunky. Those dudes were thick as fuck.
They were thick, dude. I remember they'd play Pokemon on this as well. They would have like the Pokemon anime on here. It was great, man. I loved all of that.
We just got a very interesting email. Pretty sure we can't read that.
I mean, that's not like offensive. It's just like a bad joke.
It's not funny.
That's fine. I'll read it. I'll read it later.
You will. Cool. Okay.
Okay. What time is it?
Jackie Chan Adventures was fucking awesome. Any show where it was just like they had Jackie Chan Adventures was like talismans. Shaolin Showdown was like a bunch of different artifacts and stuff, like the golden tiger claws. I don't know if I told the story before, but I got the toy of the golden tiger claws, which was just like a mitt with 3 claws for like Wolverine's, but all like
McDonald's.
No. Asshole, but no.
Is it one of the McDonald's toys?
My cousin came to our house. And this was when I was like really little, like I was like 12 or something. And he came over to our house to like hang out and stuff. And I was so certain that he was gonna break my fucking golden tiger claws, so I hid them. And then my little brother or my older brother was just like, "Dude, Garrett wants to see the golden tiger claws. Can you show him?" And I was just like, "No, fuck you." And then later on, when I was in my house, just like drinking high C and fucking being a cool kid, I heard some people outside, and I was just like, "Oh, they're back outside. Let's play again," because they had come inside to like chill out. And I walked outside, and standing there was Garrett with my broken golden tiger claws, and he was looking at me, and he was just like, "I'm sorry, it was an accident." And I'm just like,
"We're gonna kill you."
It was a dog pile of the four most pathetic white kids you've ever seen, just beating the fuck out of each other. It was not a pretty sight. And Garrett was like wielding a broken plastic sharp razor thing. So that was fun.
Well, the good thing is you can buy a used Golden Tiger Claw toy for $299.
Did he sell my broken Golden Tiger Claws?
Probably for like $150.
There was a trigger on the handle in the mitt that would make the Golden Tiger Claw noise.
Yeah. I forgot that the cartoon girls in this were cute, and that was like my 10-year-old.
Remember that?
I like the girls.
On Boomerang, you would watch Powerpuff Girls and stuff.
I love Boomerang, yeah.
Yeah, there was an episode where they it was like in the future, and they were still like grotesque and terrifying because they had like the nub hands.
Oh yeah. I forgot. That was weird, yeah. And like their dad had normal hands too. A lot of the other characters had normal hands, which
he didn't like, it's not his sperm that created them. I don't know why his genetics would have anything to do with that. He just poured a bunch of shit into a jar.
What if that's what Chemical X is?
In his nut? Are you saying it's his fucking nut?
Yeah.
You're so gross, Alex.
He kept a giant vat of his nut, and he accidentally broke it.
A vat?
Yeah.
How did he create that much?
Over time, man.
Professor Utonium, what are you doing today? I'm jerking off for the 400th time to preserve my own specimen.
God. I'm sure someone's had that.
Had what?
Before. That joke done before. Not that someone's tried to preserve their nut in a vat.
What if Chemical X is like a Four Loko or something?
I hope so. It's better than the alternative, honestly. God. Okay. We're minute 6 in. We didn't even talk about any of like the Marvel. Marvel.
Let's do it. Let's talk about that. What else has been announced?
The new shows that were announced.
Why does it feel like every 2 weeks there's like more and more shows that are being announced?
Because Disney owns the world.
No, they don't. Because they don't own Spider-Man. We can talk about that.
So the Disney-Sony Spider-Man situation, story came out that the negotiations fell apart and that Spider-Man is out of the MCU. That isn't 100% accurate. Apparently Disney and Sony are still working something out, and I hope they do. So, honestly, at this point,
Spider-Man,
you gotta wait.
Dude,
Tom Holland posted on Instagram of him and Robert Downey Jr.
What was
like,
that?
on a hike
weird.
in LA. Yeah, and he was like, "We did it, Mr. Stark," and I was like, very suspicious that you would post this exact thing at this exact moment. Dude. And then Tom Holland's dad also came out in support of his son, because his son can't say anything because he's under contract, and he was like, "Free Spider-Man! Give my kid his fucking job back!" So that was nice. But yeah, we just have to wait and see because we really just don't know what's going on. You were gonna say something. I cut you off like 3 times.
What was I gonna say? I don't remember now.
It's probably not important. But yeah, it would really.
I was gonna say that Robert Downey Jr. looks really gray now. If you see his face, it's just a lot of white hair. It's weird.
I mean, yeah, they like dye his hair and stuff for the movies.
I know, but it was just like, oh yeah, people age.
I think he wants to get into that like Silver Fox, like kind of style, but like wasn't able to because of like the movies and stuff before. But now that he doesn't have to, he's just gonna fucking rock it. You know what I mean? So he's gonna live his best life. I think it's cute that him and Tom Holland are actually like buddies in real life. That's nice. It's nice to know. So yeah, fingers crossed that shit works out. It'd be really weird if they make Spider-Man 3 and Peter just has his Iron Spider suit and you're like, man, I'm so glad I got this from Professor Toby Stank. This was so nice of him.
Disney's gonna have to buy Sony.
I know. There's like the one part of my brain that's like, Disney should not be as big as it is and needs to stop buying things. But then the other emotional, stupid part of my brain is like, but Spider-Man, the MCU. Yeah, it's tough. But honestly, like, this is like a different situation because I just feel like Marvel should have complete control over all their characters. Like, that seems like logical to me. I just wish there was a way for Sony to let it go. The only reason that other studios had Marvel characters is because in the 80s and 90s, Marvel was in bad financial straits, so they sold off all the film rights to their characters, and that's why we're in the mess we are right now. If Disney had bought them like 20 years earlier, wouldn't be in this situation at all.
Disney was not a superhero thing, and they were pretty focused on princesses and like water bending.
Exactly. And water bending. Yeah, no, Disney bought Marvel. It was actually really surprising when Disney bought Marvel. That was like back in 2011.
Was that surprising? I mean, I thought they bought Star Wars first.
They bought Star Wars afterwards.
Oh.
Yeah, they bought Star Wars in 2013.
They just been fucking cranking out homers, dude.
Yeah, dude. They had count them, 5 movies this year alone that have crossed the $1 billion mark. Never been done before. I remember when $1 billion was unheard of, and then Disney just keeps cranking out $1 billion.
Well, I mean, when we were younger, it was Avatar that was everybody's go-to for talking about.
True, but now Disney owns Avatar.
I am the only person on the planet who is excited for those movies. I love Avatar so much.
I really don't give a shit at all.
You're stupid. Everybody talks about Avatar like it's like fucking garbage. It is a great movie, and everyone should see it. Fuck everybody who says they're bad.
I didn't like it when I saw it.
You're stupid. You're a dumb person. You have no idea what good films are.
I'm sure. I'll rewatch it, but I mean, sure, the effects are great, but I just thought the story was kind of dumb, and I didn't care.
It's a very what's the fucking smart person word?
If you have to think about it,
derivative. It's so derivative and big corporate. James Cameron is just trying to make bank off of CGI. Shut the fuck up. I really like that movie.
This conversation has just been like really done to death, so I just don't give a shit.
Done to death?
Yeah.
Nobody talks about Avatar anymore.
Anytime on any Reddit thread, people are like, Avatar 2 is really coming out next year, and then like they've been saying that for like 7 years, and it's like, does anyone care about Avatar? There was no cultural impact, and I'm just like, I hate Avatar, but I'm so tired of this conversation. I don't give a shit.
But it's not a conversation. It's just people saying it's bad, and then me looking at it just gets angry at the gym with people fucking talking about my deadlift form.
The guy behind you being like, you're doing the deadlift wrong. Also, like, Avatar was such a bad movie. Can you believe that the second one hasn't come out yet? There's no cultural impact.
What does that even mean? It's just like fucking Pocahontas.
Exactly. I don't care. It'll come out. I'll watch it anyways, and it'll make, like... I don't think it'll honestly make as much as the first one. But I'm sure it'll make money. Like, I'm not too worried about it.
I'm gonna see it twice.
I'll see it. Just to spite me.
There was
I'll see it for you.
I'm going to see it twice so that they make their money back.
Okay. What were you going to say?
I don't remember. I'm angry.
There was a
people.
thing.
I'm not leaving this yet. Hang on.
Come on.
You talking about
here we go.
Films that you don't want to hear the argument for just makes me think about The Last Jedi. Because
that's the.
It's the king of like things that you hate talking about, but why is Avatar in that same pen for you? I feel like I rarely have ever heard you talk about this.
I mean, I haven't talked about Avatar with you guys extensively, but
seeing it on Reddit makes you mad?
Not mad, just I've seen it so many times and for so long. It's because the sequel's taken like 10 years to come out, so people have had plenty of time to discuss Avatar. Is it good or bad? Why was it good? Why did it make so much money?
I feel like it's never a discussion. It's just people making the offhand joke that Avatar is terrible, and it's not terrible. Terrible is enormous.
People fight about it in the comments, and being like, "No, the CGI was revolutionary."
Who's fighting about it? I've never seen anybody fight about it. It's just a bunch of people jerking off,
agreeing with each other. There's a million Reddit threads online over 10 years. Like, there's bound to be people fighting about it all the time. Like,
hey, you can't make that point because you and Yammin get mad at me when I make that point. The internet is so big that there's bound to be someone who did blank.
When have I ever been mad about you?
You and Yammin get mad at me every time.
Why are you projecting?
Projecting?
You're projecting your insecurities about Avatar and this internet thing.
You're projecting your insecurities about Avatar.
You know it's bad, but you like it.
This is a very Jake Sully moment, if you ask me. Do you like that in that movie? James Willems from Funhouse talks about this a lot. Whenever they talk about Funhouse. Whenever they had a gameplay they did where they talked about Avatar, and you would talk about I like it when the avatars and the humans meet because it looks like they're a bunch of babies compared.
They're so tall and weird and blue. Whatever.
That movie is not terrible, and people who say it is are stupid.
The only good Avatar is The Last Airbender. That.
Did I tell you that when I was a
tier.
kid, I was at the store, or like I think we were at Blockbuster actually. We were getting like one of the Transformers movies, I think, and we were
also
at
a bad movie.
At the
but I thought
line for the register. We were at the line for the register.
I'm trying to bait you.
Shut up! We were at the line for the register, and there was a bunch of DVDs like on the display, like before the refrigerator with the Cokes and stuff, and before the snacks. It was like display with DVDs. One of them said The Aviator. I was very confident because I think I'm dyslexic or something. I thought it said Avatar, and I looked at it with like up close. I was reading it, and I was like, The Avatar. And it was The Aviator with fucking Leonardo DiCaprio. And Leonardo DiCaprio. And I handed it to my mom, and I was just like, that's the movie with the Avatar, the Alice.
Keep
I
going.
can't fucking talk. That's the movie with the last Airbender. And she was like, that's not what this says. And she like read it to me, and I was just like, no, I'm pretty confident. And me and my brothers were like, please let us write this movie. And she didn't let us, and I'm glad she didn't, because it would have been just like the worst.
Did the giant picture of Leonardo DiCaprio and a plane on the cover not like throw you off?
I swear that the cover for this was just black and a shirtless guy with I don't know, he was just shirtless and he was facing away, and then it said The Aviator. So I don't remember.
I would have been a more understanding if it was that generic Blockbuster cover that was just like their logo, and like the text just said like The Aviator 1990, whatever the fuck that movie came out.
There was another time where we went to GameStop and we rented, I think it was Leisure Suit Larry, the first one, and this was like the first time we were allowed to get a game by ourselves, and my mom didn't know what Leisure Suit Larry was, and we did. And we brought it home, we opened it up, and inside, instead of a PlayStation 1 disc, it was fucking GameCube disc, the small one, and it was like WWE Raw or something like that. And we ran back upstairs because we're stupid, and we were like, hey, this is the game that we were going to get, but can we play it anyway? We don't have a GameCube. Can we play it anyway? And she was just like, let me see it. And we're like, she was like taking a shower, so like handed it through, and she like looked at it like really close, and she saw, I guess, a wrestler, and she was like, no, it's too violent, you can't. And we took it back, and then we ran downstairs and put it in the PlayStation, and it didn't work anyway.
You fucking fool.
We're a bunch of idiots.
So many steps along the way that were just, this was destined to go wrong.
We had like every kind of learning disability, I feel like, because we couldn't read The Aviator. We didn't know what fucking WWE was. The disc was like 4 times too small.
Jesus Christ. My family went out to like eat without me because you took forever to wake up from your slumber.
Hey,
and,
leave me alone.
Now I have to like beg them to like bring me back food. So Chick-fil-A.
Ew.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A sucks.
I love Chick-fil-A almost as much as I love oppressing the gays by going to Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah, they are like that.
There you go. They be like that. Dude, I tried to order a Popeyes chicken sandwich through Postmates yesterday.
Yeah.
And my delivery driver fucking
ate it?
No, he goes and he calls me. He gets to the Popeyes. He's like, yeah, they put up a big sign saying they're not selling the sandwich anymore. Do you want anything else? I was like, there's no fucking point. Don't even bother. I'm just gonna cancel this. Yeah.
It's like that episode of Boondocks when they run out of fried chicken.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, it was really funny. Boondocks is fucking awesome.
Can you tell a story while I tell my dad my Chick-fil-A order?
Tell a story? Well, there was once a young fucking idiot named Alex Pena, and he didn't enjoy Avatar, and then he went on the internet way too often, and by that I mean all the time, and he would go to Reddit threads and comment sections, and he would read maybe 2 or 3 comments that had complaints about people not liking Avatar, and he took that to mean that he should hate all conversation about this subject. So then when his cool, like, big dick, awesome friend Patrick would bring it up, he'd be like, Patrick, shut up. I've heard this too often. Avatar, the argument is, like, old and sad and stupid, and you're dumb, and I'm so cool and awesome. And I was just like, Alex, you're stupid. Fuck you, dumbass bitch. And then Alex's penis exploded right in front of his own eyes because Patrick's argument was so full of, like, pure, unbridled logic that it killed him. And that's the end of the story.
I don't know what you just said, but I just ordered, so I'm really happy about whatever it is you said. So
I didn't say anything. Don't worry about it.
It's okay, bud. I know you wouldn't.
Don't call me bud.
Wrong.
I'm not your friend. My friends see Avatar and like it.
You just made your case as to why Avatar is the greatest film of all time.
This is like a PowerPoint press. There was a time in college. I don't know why I'm thinking about this now, but
this is the story you could have told.
Fuck off. There was a time in college. No, I actually did talk, so don't worry about it. But there was a time in college. I was working with this kid named Phoenix, and it was a group project. And me and him had to do something. We had this like idea that we would get a group project, and then I would do it, and then we would get the next one. He would do it, so it'd be like sort of a lazy Susan back and forth. And I did the
who?
I did the one we were doing about. I think we had to pick a topic. I don't know what the prompt was, but I made a report about immigration. Immigration. And it was like a communications class because that was my major. And it was like something about talking in front of people. I don't know. And I had this awesome subject that I picked because it was about immigration in the United States now, modern, and people's opinions about it and how it's going to destroy the economy and everything. And I just came up, I did a bunch of research, and I was just like, that's not actually how this works. I don't have any wherewithal to, like, accurately talk about it now. It was just something that I learned a lot about and then forgot the next day, and it was on paper somewhere, but my points were good, believe me. And I had charts and graphs and, like, information about it, and I talked about, like, the immigration boom and, like, the early 1900s and all sorts of stuff. And I was just like, it didn't destroy the economy. It only strengthened it and blah, 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 blah. And, I got all these great points. And I did my half of the presentation. And then it was up to him. And I told him, I sent him the packet the night before and, like, told him the stuff that he was supposed to read. And he didn't do any of the reading. And it was just him floundering. Like, he could barely, like he was obviously going through something. I thought that he was like half drunk because he was just like, and he was like reading immigration and would go like immigration, and I was just like, yep. And he would like read through it and like go to different points, and the points that I loved so much. You ever type something and you're like, this sounds so good. The few parts that I liked about school were something that you were proud of, and he would just fucking destroy it with terrible delivery. And I was just like, ugh, this sucks. But anyway, we got like a B on that. I don't know why that came to mind, but yeah. He was Phoenix,
there you go, bud.
And he rose from the ashes.
The Dark Phoenix. Good for you, man. I get that. I know exactly what you're describing, but there's stupid people in the world, so they kind of ruin everything.
And that Phoenix's name, Albert Einstein.
Fuck off. All right. Real quick, Ewan McGregor is in an Obi-Wan Disney Plus
we barely
series.
talked about any of the Marvel stuff.
We really... I mean, no, we...
I kind of bulldozed over it with my yelling about Avatar.
Yeah, we kind of fucking... Yeah. Anyways, Ewan McGregor, Disney Plus series. Can't wait. The rumors have been going around for a while. First it was a movie. Now it's a Disney Plus series. I'm sure it'll be great. I'm excited. The end. Next one. Miss Marvel. New Disney Plus Marvel series.
Kamala Khan. Captain Marvel fangirl
turned super heroine. Should be fun. Good for her.
Who told you about that character?
I read about it online.
No, you didn't. Why didn't you let me have this?
Because you like Avatar.
No!
That's why.
Foiled again!
They're also doing Moon Knight, which is a thing people are very happy about. Apparently Moon Knight is a very wacky character. I don't know.
I bet they're
going to
go with the suit and tie version, and then minimally go with the costume and the cape.
Is he just gonna say like? He's not gonna say any curse words. He's not gonna be too aggressive.
You said you said that stupid fucking like panel from like one of the 1970s comics, and it was
it
like
was a fake edit.
It was like Captain America, Spider-Man in like the Avengers mansion, and then like on the computer, and then it's like somebody's hacking the mainframe. Who could it be? And then Moon Knight, and it's just Moon Knight's giant face.
Moon is like, "Where's my fucking money?
Where's my goddamn money?" He says, Moon Knight to Spider-Man and Captain America in a child's comic book, and then Spider-Man's just like, "We don't have any fucking money, you stupid dumbass bitch." And I was just like, "Okay, this is definitely fake." And you were just like, fucking geeking. Stupid fucking idiot.
It's pretty funny.
It was funny, so obviously fake though. And you were like, "Man, Spider-Man is so funny. I have a little penis."
It's not fake. You know what's fake? Avatar being good.
Shut the fuck up.
And then the last one is She-Hulk. Should be good. I don't know anything about She-Hulk. We're really getting into the territory of characters I know nothing about. I've heard of them. I know nothing about them.
You don't know anything about She-Hulk?
I know it's the girl Hulk, and she's more prominent in the comics. I don't
Her
know
name
how
is
she
Jennifer
became
Walters.
She-Hulk.
She's a lawyer. She can break the fourth wall.
With her fists? Wait, can she actually do... Is she like a Deadpool thing where she just talks to the audience?
She is one of the few characters, there's way more characters, who talks to the audience and is aware that she's in a comic book.
I wonder how that'll go over in the show. I wonder
They'll
if
probably not use it.
Well, if they're going to make another Deadpool movie, I think they're going to keep that aspect of it.
People keep sending me pictures of raccoons. I'm not hating this.
Why. I'm not hating. And then there was some new Star Wars, The Rise of the Skywalker stuff. They released the new poster that looks kind of bad, honestly. Like, the front part of the poster is good. That looks fine. It's like Rey and Kylo Ren fighting again. But then the back of the poster is Sheev himself, Emperor Palpatine.
Sheev!
And he looks like an animated character. He does not look real. It's very weird.
So wait, Emperor Palpatine's in the new movie?
Emperor Palpatine is in the new movie.
That's stupid.
And they're going to release a behind-the-scenes sizzle reel on Monday. So that's fun.
He got thrown into the hole. How's he alive?
Yeah. I have no idea. I think it's kind of lame. I wish they weren't bringing him back, even though people...
Because this movie can stand on the legs of its own new characters, coffee can.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't care how The Rise of Skywalker turns out, as long as we get The Mandalorian. I'm good.
So, in your opinion, are you more excited for The Mandalorian than you were for The Last Jedi? We don't have to get into weeds.
That's a good question.
My answer is yes. I'm more excited for The Mandalorian than I was for The Force Awakens.
I was extremely excited for The Last Jedi because I thought The Last Jedi would be like the darker turn in Star Wars that I always wanted.
It was a really dark casino.
Yeah, and it was not that. But now that I know The Mandalorian will be that, I'm very, very excited.
Yeah.
But I think my general excitement over Star Wars right now is kind of dampened.
Mm-hmm.
My mind kind of like goes into different modes. So like right now with like Endgame and Spider-Man happening this summer, I've been in like Marvel mode the entire time. Like I'm like, this is my shit. I'm like watching YouTube videos about this nonstop. I used to be like this with Game of Thrones. Then this season was really bad, and now I will never be in that feeling again because the show's over. I was like this with Star Wars before The Last Jedi and before The Force Awakens and Rogue One. Like I was super obsessed with it. But right now I feel the most strongly about Marvel, surprisingly, because for a long time I kind of just like casually enjoyed Marvel stuff. But now it's like I feel like it's my primary thing, and Star Wars has kind of taken a back seat to that. But if The Mandalorian turns out incredible, I think the Star Wars will reclaim the throne in my like headspace.
Sony just recently
super excited.
Bought Insomniac, didn't they?
Yeah, but Sony
Insomniac is the people who made Spider-Man game.
Sony's video game division and their movie division are completely separate.
Good, because I really enjoyed that Spider-Man game and that Spider-Man world and the story and everything. Minus the parts where I had to play as characters other than Spider-Man.
Yeah. and Marvel. It's funny that like one division of Marvel Games, and Sony, another division of Sony, the Sony Games department, get along great, and they're like, yeah, we can't wait to do the sequel to this. It's gonna be fantastic. And then the movie divisions of both companies are like at each other's throats, be like, give us fucking Spider-Man.
I don't know. It's impossible to understand how those conversations go, because they will only tell us what they want us to know, and they will not tell us that we got into a screaming match and then I punched him, because that does not look good. So they will be like, we're working some stuff out. We're hammering out the details. It's like, does that mean that somebody was yelling at each other? Because I really want to know that.
Yeah, the head Sony executive like grabbed Kevin Feige's hat and like slapped him across the face with it, and then Kevin Feige did like a reverse chokehold on like the Sony executive. That's exactly how it went down.
He did the fucking Crime and Punishment and like threw him off the top of the fucking turnbuckle.
He crashed through Hell in a Cell onto an announcer's table.
Kevin Feige, he has a lot of hats, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's apparently like. I think he's like.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I think he's like self-conscious about
his hair,
like, thinning head. Yeah. But the thing is that wearing hats actually makes it worse, so it's like a self-perpetuating thing.
I feel like anybody who's going bald, who does not like that they're going bald, should grow a beard.
Oh yeah, the beard and shaved head thing is kind of like a classic look now. Like, there's so many people that rock that.
That's what
like
I want
Sean
fucking
Evans,
Brendan Fraser to do, and he doesn't.
I can't imagine Brendan Fraser bald.
I was talking with Garrett Watts about all the stuff that like Brendan Fraser has gone through, and we were talking about like how we want to just pull him aside one day and just be like, Brendan, you got to listen to me. you got. There's this thing you can do where you grow facial hair and you keep it there forever, and you need to do that.
He was in a pretty successful FX show recently.
Was he really?
It was pretty good. Yeah, it was called I forget what it was called. It was like something about like this rich Texas family goes through this scandal because their son is kidnapped or something, and then yada yada.
Jesus.
I don't remember.
I know he was in Doom Patrol, but he was in a giant suit for that.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Good for him. But anyways, I'm gonna get to comments now because my Chick-fil-A is gonna be coming any minute. Let's see. We've got this one from Account Register. I guess this is like a fake email address. Hey, I love your podcast. Do you guys have anything funky planned for your 100th episode? No.
I will yell
is this
twice
funky?
As much about a movie that no one likes but me.
This episode's extra long, so there you go. We wanted to have Yammin here, but Yammin's scheduling is difficult, and this didn't occur to me until we were talking about this yesterday in the group chat.
Because we decide to plan things the day before they happen.
Yeah, and also Yammin can't use your house to record anymore
because
you don't live there.
He could. My room is empty.
Yeah, but like, could he? I think Yammin would be uncomfortable with just like coming into your house, saying hi to your family.
You didn't even have to finish that sentence. Yammin would be uncomfortable. Period. Is pretty much how you can make sure you understand every motivation for everything he does.
Pretty much. And then he said once he starts school, which I think is
you will know his schedule and stuff.
Yeah, he'll record at George Mason. So, fingers crossed. Keep bullying him online, though. You know, that is a good motivator. Next one, Norman West Allen.
You want to save that for the last?
Norman West Allen. This goes back to the argument we were... Go ahead, bud. You can do it.
I agree with Patrick. Let's just let that simmer. I agree with Patrick.
Yep. Avatar's the
God, feels good.
The whole time.
Shut up. Tom Holland Peter is a child and shouldn't have control of a lethal drone program. If it was Andrew Garfield Peter, maybe, because he doesn't look like a child, and he watched his girlfriend die, so he's definitely mature. And Tobey Maguire Peter looks like he cries after sex, so I'd let him have like one drone that gives hugs or blowjobs because he's just so fucking sad. Sent from Star City. Norman, never change. That was a ride.
Never change. I thought these were like you for a while. There was another.
They're
one
not
you were
fucking me. I did not make a new email to send these stupid things.
It was a different one. You sent like a fake email previously, but then someone else took up your mantle and like.
Twice, I think. But I just sent that using my Patrick email.
Yeah. This one is from Kashavi. Hey y'all, Kashavi here again. I'm 2 podcasts behind. How dare you? But I just realized me and Patrick have the same frames, which means glasses.
I guess, yeah.
Let's all have an
The
instant.
Clark Kent sort of.
Good for you. That's nice. There was this time in like middle school, elementary school, where all my friends were getting glasses and my vision was perfect, and I was like, but I want glasses or else I look weird. I know. In retrospect,
You're stupid.
very dumb.
I just learned that
Vanessa.
I probably don't qualify for laser eye surgery, so that sucks.
You can just wear contacts.
I don't want to do that because there was that story of that old woman who had like 35 contacts stuck on behind her eye,
Ew,
and it worsened
right.
her vision so much that like she had to get even more aggressive prescriptions.
Okay. This one's from Vanessa. Everything has been going well so far. Still with the guy I met on Tinder, and it's been an amazing month and a half with him. Happy for you, Vanessa. That's good. What is a good date idea? Thanks,
Ooh,
nerds.
thrift store. Go to a thrift store.
That is fun. Put together outfits for each other in a thrift store. That's
Going
a
to
good
a
one.
movie is fun, I guess, but
You want something where you can actually talk to each other.
well, the fun aspect of going to a movie with someone is, I guess, you can sort of talk to each other during the trailers, but after you're in the car again, you can sort of riff about what you liked about the movie and what you didn't like. That's what's fun about it in terms of a date.
Yeah.
But if you're going to see a movie, you can just go by yourself.
See, I like going to the trailers, watching trailers with friends in the theater, because like we'll all like kind of like after a trailer ends, we'll all like
Ooh, what do you
give
guys
each
think
other
of that?
side eye and be like, "That looked pretty good."
That
We're
was
like,
stupid.
that was dumb. Like, just give each other like that brief reaction.
Were we in
I like
Far
it.
From Home when we saw that movie about the alligators?
Yeah, crawl.
Then everybody in the audience was like, "What the fuck was that?"
Everyone freaked out. It was really.
And
funny.
then when they were in Italy and Far From Home, and like the water was moving from the water elemental, I think it was Yammin who was like, "It's the fucking alligators." That being said, don't talk during movies.
Yeah, don't talk, you fucking assholes. This one's from Daniel. If I pretended to be a woman to make money somehow, and the authorities find out, would I be classified as a registered sex pretender? Don't do that. This is bad. Delete this.
Also, big fan of the podcast. I hope you're all mentally stable and find a $2 bill on the floor. Well, that was
You're
fun.
okay. You're fine now. Thank you for that wholesome turnaround. That was a nice turnaround. Thank you, Daniel.
There's Instagram stuff.
There is a lot. We also got this YouTube comment from Uriel Vargas. I don't remember what the fuck we were talking about or what this comment means, so maybe you will. Lin Quell, fight flawlessly. The skin is good looking, but yuck, I hate the voice. Why not just have Dimitri Vegas be the model, not voice act? Is that about Mortal Kombat?
Dimitri Vegas is the guy who does a Sub-Zero.
Okay, so that comment is about Mortal
The
Kombat.
skin
Cool.
is good.
I-
They even remodeled the skin to look like the guy?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's rad.
Okay. I gotcha. I had no idea what they were
I just
talking about.
watched all of the Nightwolf intros for Mortal Kombat 11.
Nightwolf.
He's pretty
Okay,
cool.
let's start with the Instagram. This one is about me. Pena, if you ended up stranded on an island with one Prude dude, which one would you rather be stranded with?
Wait, are you reading from
I think-
top to bottom?
I am, because this one's about me. I would choose Patrick, because Patrick, I feel like, knows more about survivability stuff. Yammin would probably just like complain and then like I don't
Yammin
know.
would start constructing
me.
a wooden Xbox.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then
Hello?
he'd complain about how he didn't know how to cook anything. There was like no frozen food.
You just went silent for a second. I was just like, is that a bad reaction to me saying Yammin would construct a wooden Xbox?
Yeah, I'm very offended by that. Let's see. I'm gonna.
If you're wondering, I would definitely not bring either of these people.
Thanks, bud.
If I had to bring,
Appreciate it.
if I had to, probably Yammin.
Fuck you.
Because I feel like I could kill and eat him easier. That's almost a compliment to you,
Okay.
because I feel like it would be harder to kill
That's
you.
fine.
If you're speaking, I can't hear you.
Oh, you just broke up for a little bit there, but
Yeah.
I'm back now. I love this. I should get a fucking spam email. What is this? Oh wait,
Anyway, since I
Wait,
can't
wait.
hear what you're saying, I'm gonna read
no.
the next one.
Wait,
What?
you can. Sorry, I was just reading the spam email we just got in our Prude Dudes account.
Okay. Well, I'm going to read the one from Karmas.
Do that.
Karma's trip. Does Patrick want to grab a drink with me sometime? Also, I'm going to eat his cheeks. I don't drink anymore, so I'm going to have a chocolate milk. And we'll talk about the eating cheeks thing another time. You know how to reach me.
Glad. I'm going to read this one from Sarah Parr. If you had to eat 100 of any food, what would you eat? And I said ass.
What?
What would you pick if you had to eat 100 of any food?
Would fuck, 100 of any food? I could probably kill 100 chocolate bars if it's like the Swedish kind, the really good kind. I am that into chocolate.
I would.
Oh no! Fuck. What are they called? Dumplings. I could eat 100 dumplings, easy.
I could probably eat 100 like McDonald's French fries.
No, those get old. I don't really like McDonald's French fries that much anymore.
Pat, it's the legendary ankle fat.
Is it?
Ankle fat on Instagram asked us a question.
Okay, that's awesome.
Any of you guys had sleep paralysis?
Yep.
If not, what was the scariest thing that's ever happened to y'all?
That's a really good question. I like that a lot.
You said you've had sleep paralysis, right?
I have. I still have it sometimes. I haven't had it since I've been here yet, so that's good.
Okay.
I don't know if you want me to describe the process of sleep paralysis. I'm sure everybody understands it, but
I don't think most people do.
Wake up, in air quotes. You are aware that you're laying in bed. You cannot move. You feel like that you can't lean up, or at least I'm describing from my own experience. It feels like every part of your body is off. Like off or almost unusable. Like you have very little strength. Sort of like in a dream when you try to run but your legs don't work. It's like that, but for everything from the neck down. And I will sometimes be able to like just barely move my neck, but then it'll be like my eyes get tunnel vision and I can't see anything. So that's terrifying and I hate it. What's the scariest thing that's ever happened to you, Pena? That's definitely not the scariest thing that's ever happened to me, but I feel like I should hand this off to you and then get back.
One time I was like making this tough turn when I was biking, and I was going down this hill too fast, and I like hit my bike into the side of this bridge, and then beneath the bridge was like a bunch of spiky rocks, like a rocky gorge.
Jesus.
Yeah, so like almost like flipped over and like died, but it didn't.
That's a shame.
Then another one was when two things. I've been like in two scenarios of like mass panic. One of them, I was in the movie theater. I was going to the movie theater with some friends. I forget what we were seeing, but they went in ahead of me because I think I was buying snacks or something. And then they were in the theater already. And then all of a sudden I see like everyone in the theater just like running outside, like yelling and screaming. And I was like, what the fuck? Like it's literally a stampede. And so I just like run out of the theater and like the cops are like swerving up to like take care of whatever's going on. And like I can't find my friends. So I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And so like I call them and they're like answer the phone and they're like, yo, dude, where are you? Like the movie's about to start. And I was like, motherfucker, did you not notice all the people like running outside? And they're like, no, nothing's happening. So it was really weird. And apparently what happened was in another theater, some crazy guy started like shouting about how like he was going to like blow up the theater, but he was like, he didn't have any like explosives on him. He was just like a crazy like homeless guy, I think. It was very strange. And then this happened recently last summer. I was at the DC Pride Parade with my girlfriend Kalina, and we were walking away from the crowd back to our friend's apartment, and all of a sudden people start like stampeding and like running away.
Jesus.
And we're just like, what the fuck? Is there like a shooter? And like collectively, just like hive mind, everyone starts running, and I have no idea why because I didn't hear anything. And so I was like checking Twitter to like see what was going on, and apparently there was just some like popper going off, some sort of firework or car backfiring. It wasn't a real thing or shooter. But
it's a good thing that that's always in the back of our minds now.
I know. It's weird. We all have like Oh, there's that like video on Twitter of people in Times Square, like a car backfiring and everyone just like running out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awful, dude. I hate that we're like that damaged.
Pavlov.
But yeah. That's honestly one of my scariest experiences. My Chick-fil-A is here. So that's what my sister was. If you heard a door open, that's what that was. I'm gonna get through these real quick. Fondest memories from childhood. Power Rangers.
Fuck. Fondest memory? Huh. Fondest memory. I don't remember fucking anything about my childhood. Remember a lot of, like, I don't know why, but I guess, like, the good stuff is, like, hey, it's good, so you don't think about it too much. But I remember, like, events. I don't remember fucking anything about my childhood.
Good point. I don't know. I miss running around playing Pokemon with, like, all the kids, like, that I was friends with. That was fun. I miss the simplicity of that. This one person asks, Hex16 asks, what is the secret to Patrick's hair pre-egg demon? I think you just said it was like water, right? Like you don't.
I didn't do anything to my hair. Are you talking about what I made it? How I made it poofy?
Yeah.
I didn't put any product in it. I just like ran my fingers through it. Because I'm fucking naturally beautiful.
Last one, because I'm gonna go eat. What do you think? This is from itty bitty tiny committee ass bitch, whatever. What do you think has changed the most from the first episode to now?
Fucking how awkward we used to be. You used to be. Well, I mean, it makes sense that we were all awkward. I feel like I was the least awkward because I was the most used to being recorded this often. But being in a group setting and having to consistently come up with things to say is tough, and that is something you have to get used to. You and Yammin definitely had to get used to that, and Yammin hasn't changed at all. Pretty much, he barely talks anyway.
Yeah.
You have become an entirely different person.
Really?
You're like a whole
like
radio host, dude. Like without you on, it is so difficult to think of things to say. You always have something. So that's changed most, in my opinion. Pena has become really good at this, and that's the last time I'll ever compliment.
Yeah, I would say that it's just become more polished, and we're just like better at talking and like kind of not giving a shit, you know, kind of just having everything flow naturally instead of running down a list.
You have finally thrown away the voice that you used to use, which I hated.
I don't like.
You really don't detect it, and that's what's infuriating
was.
because I know it's real. I'm not insane.
I don't really know what that was, but I'm glad it's gone now to appease you. Anyways, guys, thank you again for listening. It's been 100 episodes, and hopefully you've enjoyed at least
one of them.
Sorry we didn't do anything too special for this one, although we went long, so hopefully that counts for something. Again, if you want to send us any comments, questions, fan art, etc., we haven't gotten fan art in a while.
I have.
You can send that to prudedudes@gmail.com. We get it, Patrick. You're fucking hot, and people want to draw you all the time. You can send that shit there. You can send it to us on Twitter and Instagram at Prude Dudes. You can also find us at our personal accounts. I'm at AlexPenna97 on Twitter. Patrick is at It's Patrick Shalto 5. Yammin is at Papa Yams 2 S's. And I want to give a shout out to our Patreon patrons before we go. These are the folks that have made these 100 episodes possible. I want to shout out Brianna, Chelsea, David, Aaron, Everso Joe, Jesse, Joshua, Kane, Rebecca, Sydney, Smitty, Werben, Jaggerman Jensen, he was number 1, Tara, That Loser Travis, Vanessa, and Jessica. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, guys. And thank you to all the people who have decided for some stupid reason to consistently listen to us ramble about nothing for 100 episodes. How many weeks is that?
That's 100 weeks, but we missed a couple weeks, so we're like over that.
2 years?
Wow, was it 2 years?
I don't know.
Yeah, it is 2 years.
But
that's crazy.
Thank you.
I'm so old.
I'm glad that you guys enjoy this because that's why we do it.
We're all mortal and time is fleeting. Anyways, guys, thank you for listening. If you want to become a Patreon patron, you can go to patreon.com/prudedudes, and I will send you a personal collection of Patrick's nudes that I have curated. That is after a certain donation threshold, though.
I have to make some new ones.
Yeah, we gotta freshen up the supply.
People are getting old because
if you have any special requests, that's also a special donation section. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Bully Yammin, so he'll come on to these things more. See you again next week.